What a crazy weather pattern we have been in as we have snowfall falling in northern Illinois 2 days later, removed from an 81-degree high temperature. So, this is what I measured here this morning in northern Illinois, 3 inches worth of snow, believe it or not, here on my back deck. And looking here at our weather pattern ahead, we're going to continue to monitor the threat for more snow moving forward, and we're going to be looking at the potential for more severe weather and some heavy rainfall events as we get into the third week of March. So if you are here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, follow along with all my detailed, accurate, and reliable weather information here on YouTube simply by subscribing, liking the video, very important, press the like button, especially if you enjoy the video and find it informative and detailed, and share this video with friends, family, and on social media. Let's get into the weather forecast. We did see that snow here in northern Illinois, as I just showed you outside my door, and we are actually seeing that up into portions of southeast Wisconsin, our friends over there in Milwaukee, up there in western lower Michigan, northern lower Michigan, going to see some pretty heavy snowfall bands moving through as we go through the rest of your Sunday. And then that'll just continue as we go up into Ontario and Western Quebec, Canada, as we go into your Sunday evening here this evening. So any snowfall left over could be seeing around 2 to 4 inches of accumulations. Most of these accumulations are going to be on grassy surfaces, maybe some slushy accumulations on the roadways. Those pavement temperatures are still pretty warm out there, but I wouldn't be surprised if an inch or two of this 4 inches up here in northern lower Michigan, have those slushy accumulations on those roadways. Now we are monitoring the warm side of the system for more severe weather today. We have a level 3 out of 5 in the orange. That's an enhanced risk of severe weather in western Pennsylvania, very far western New York State, down into northern West Virginia and western Maryland. Those are the areas we're keeping a close eye on. But in the yellow, that's a level 2 out of 5, slight risk extending down into Virginia, the Carolinas, especially the eastern Carolinas, southeast Georgia, and north central Florida. And the dark green surrounding that as a 1 out of 5. That is a marginal risk of severe weather. So looking at the hazards, the biggest threat for severe weather today will be 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts, especially where you see the yellow in the red areas highlighted here. That is a 15 to 30% chance of those 60 to 70 mile per hour winds respectively. We also have a threat for tornadoes, still a formidable 2% chance in the green, 5% chance in the brown, and this is within a 25-mile point of any given location here. So we definitely are seeing that from North Florida all the way to Lake Erie today. So we're keeping an eye on that threat, and we have the threat for some hail that could be quarter size, maybe slightly larger, with the instability a lot stronger further south into the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. That's where the better chances for hail will be as we go into your Sunday afternoon here. So looking at what the radar could look like heading into this afternoon and this evening, notice we got a bunch of storms moving across the mid-Atlantic seaboard all the way down into the southeast, like the Carolinas, eastern Georgia near Savannah, and down here toward North Florida, Jacksonville, back toward Gainesville, and Tallahassee. What those storms will do is continue to push east as we go into this afternoon. So areas there, Baltimore, Philadelphia, all the way down to Washington, D.C., Roanoke, down into portions of Wilmington, Raleigh, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, all the way down to Tampa Bay. Could be seeing some stronger thunderstorms there. And then those will march off the coast here as we go into this evening. But we're going to be seeing some pretty heavy rainfall setting up from around Trenton all the way up to New York City and Long Island, Hartford, Boston, and all the way up to Portland, Maine. Could be seeing some very heavy rainfall as we go through this evening and overnight tonight, and that rainfall really won't clear the airspace until around Monday. So we're definitely going to be seeing a very long day of rain as we go through your Monday. And in fact, rainfall totals are going to be adding up where the heaviest rains are lining up along the northeast coast here in the mid-Atlantic coast all the way down into eastern North Carolina, 1 to as much as 4 inches worth of rainfall here. So definitely watching out for at least minor flash flooding across these areas. Now, going into this weekend, this is for Sunday, March 16th, warmer air on the warm side. That's why we're seeing all the severe weather. Strong cold front is giving us some snow showers across portions of the western Great Lakes and Midwest. Temperatures this afternoon only into the 30s and 40s. Now, we are going to turn our winds around out of the southwest as we go into the new work week. Monday, March 17th through Friday, March 21st here. Coldest of our air during that 5-day average is out across the west or down across the southeast, especially for Florida. We're going to be warming up our temperatures this week across the plains, the Midwest, into the Ohio Valley, and to some some degree across the Northeast as well. And we're going to be turning those winds around in a big way as we go into Monday, March 17th. This is tomorrow. Areas that see snow today, well, we'll forget about it. We'll be at 60 degrees in northern Illinois as we go into tomorrow. 70-degree line goes all the way up into South Dakota and southern Minnesota. And if that's not enough, look at that. Tuesday, mid-70s return to Iowa, northern and central Illinois, 60s in Wisconsin and lower Michigan. Middle 80s with the dry soil back here at Kansas, Oklahoma, and 90s possible there in western and southern Texas on Tuesday. Then another strong cold front comes through midweek, and then we'll rebound our temperatures a little bit again later on this week by Thursday and Friday. So a temperature roller coaster. Here's our next storm system we're keeping an eye on. This is the energy that's going to be moving through the United States midweek, and that's going to be giving us another big storm across the central U.S. by midweek on Wednesday. You can see all the snowfall here in Oregon and the higher elevations of Idaho, western Montana, and western Wyoming. Some heavier rains across western Oregon here toward Portland and Eugene, and then all the way down into northwestern California. Now that will continue as we go through the day today and into this evening. A lot more moisture kind of trending more further south into central California, so the foothill regions and the northern Sierras could also see some precipitation. Obviously, with the Sierras being in higher elevation, you're going to see more snow there. In the lower elevation, the foothill regions are going to be seeing more rainfall. And looking at the snowfall, you're going to be seeing impactful snow and nice snowfall here, replenishment for the ski resorts out west. Could be seeing over 2 feet of snow in a lot of areas from Wyoming into Montana, Idaho, the Pacific Northwest, the Cascades, and Oregon especially. And then the Sierras getting at least a few feet of snow there as well as we go through the new work week. Now, this energy is going to translate from west to east, so it's going to translate further east in the central and then eventually the eastern U.S. later this week. Here we start the work week very dry in the central U.S. there on Monday. We're watching that rain system for some possible flash flooding in the east there to start the day. Going into Tuesday, here comes that energy bringing that snowfall across the Rockies, Wyoming down to Utah and western Colorado. Maybe a little bit of some freezing drizzle here from South Dakota, southern Minnesota, and Wisconsin to start the day on Tuesday, keeping an eye on those road impacts. That should change over to some rain showers or at least sprinkles during the afternoon as those temperatures do warm up. And then here comes that system Wednesday morning. Got some heavy snowfall here on the backside, tight isobars. It's going to be a windy system. Could be seeing some wind whip snow across western Kansas, off the Front Range in eastern Colorado into New Mexico and northwest Iowa. Rainfall and some thunderstorm activity across southeast Iowa, Missouri, and into Illinois, the land of Lincoln there. Could be watching out for some stronger thunderstorms as they enter into the western and southwestern Great Lakes there on Wednesday evening with the cold front. That cold front could bring more snow to northern Illinois, into northern Indiana and Michigan as we go into Wednesday night, more so Thursday morning. And then that'll bring more rain for the East Coast, changing over to snow, some minor accumulations there on the backside. Now, we are watching the threat for severe weather. This is Tuesday afternoon. Your dew points here are going to be in the 40s, low 50s here further to the south, so not really looking at much severe weather on Tuesday. Wednesday, got a pretty potent dry line here from the plains all the way up there toward Missouri. That could spark a couple of thunderstorms. That dry line will kind of diffuse as it moves further east here into the Ohio Valley, but we could have enough moisture here, a tongue of moisture from the Gulf all the way up to Lake Michigan, could be giving us some stronger storms across eastern Illinois, the Hoosier state of Indiana up there into Michigan as we go into Wednesday afternoon. And notice not a lot of instability there on Tuesday, but once we get to Wednesday afternoon and evening, we got a little bit of some weak instability nosing its way up there toward Lake Michigan. So again, eastern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and into Michigan, maybe needing to watch out for some stronger storms. Not really a lot of instability, but enough to spark some isolated severe weather with winds and hail. And notice the rain side of this, not going to see a lot of rain. It's going to be pretty progressive with that cold front, so we're only expecting around a quarter to half inch of rain. Snowfall, on the other hand, though, could be seeing a narrow band, but a potent band of snow from Omaha up to areas west and north of Des Moines, up there toward Waterloo. Rochester, Minnesota could be getting the potential of over 6 inches of snow. La Crosse and up there toward Green Bay, and Marquette in Michigan. Those are the areas in line to see some accumulating heavy wet snow as we go into the end of the week. What happens as we go to the end of the week beyond that system? Well, the jet stream remains wavy as we go through the end of the week and into next weekend, and it's going to push further south, so bringing more cooler air across the north central U.S. for the weekend. And this is going to bring another potent storm, especially for the southern plains and into the portions of Dixie Alley. This could bring more severe weather. Now, it's not going to be a high risk. I'm very confident this is going to be a high ceiling event, but this could bring a mesoscale convective system, one of those big lines of storms that could produce mainly wind and hail and a few isolated tornadoes. Here's the setup there on Sunday, March 23rd. This is 1 week from today. Dew points mid and upper 60s, surging all the way north here to the Red River, all the way into southern Oklahoma and North Texas. Dry line setup. We got 20s dew points across West Texas, 60s dew points in East Texas. Clash of the air masses between the moist and unstable air and the dry and stable air to the west, and that's going to create the lift for thunderstorms. And there is the instability. Storm energy quite high here, especially along and east of the I-35 corridor, into southern Arkansas, into Louisiana, perhaps even Mississippi, around 2,000, 3,000 joules per kilogram. That's plenty of storm fuel. And you can see Sunday morning, maybe some scattered storms out there that could produce some hail. Then a big mesoscale convective system that could cross the I-35 corridor into Arkansas, Louisiana, into Mississippi. So areas like Tyler, Texas, Houston, Waco, over here to Shreveport, Monroe, Lake Charles, Baton Rouge, perhaps even up there into Pine Bluffs, Arkansas, may have to watch this as we go into Sunday evening. And then those storms will continue to rumble east toward Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans, and those types of areas as we go into Monday morning, the following Monday on March 24th. Overall, here's the rainfall we are expecting over the next 7 days. Looks like the eastern U.S. going to see some decent soaking of rain, especially the northeast coast up here. Boston, for example, New York City could see a few inches of some rain. Pretty dry, though, as drought continues to expand across Arizona, New Mexico, and West Texas. Also pretty dry in southwest Oklahoma. Pretty dry as well in areas that need the moisture up in the Dakotas and Minnesota, where we have snowfall across portions of Wisconsin down into Iowa, and then heavy moisture across the west as we go through the week. And here's the snowfall map. Again, a lot of the higher elevations, the mountainous regions out west going to see snow, and then that narrow potent area of snow from Omaha all the way to Marquette, Michigan could be giving us some more accumulating snow for the middle of the week. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's weather forecast, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more accurate, reliable weather information moving forward. So press the subscribe button for that. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, especially if you enjoyed it, found it informative and detailed, and also share this video with friends, family, and on social media. And again, that's all the weather I have for you today. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their weekend out there.